Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about what a design system is, how I'm applying a design system to my own work, and I'm also going to be talking about how other brands that are very successful, like the brand Represent, how they're using design systems to create consistency with their logo, their typography, and their color palette in order to create a unique brand identity that is then consistent across all of their channels, including social media, press and editorial, their website, and packaging. My name is Chris Strago. I've been running a brand called Pathos of Things for about 5 years. I'm creating YouTube videos to document my process so I can get 1% better every day at being a brand owner, creative director, and art director to eventually build a luxury brand. Let's start off by going over what a design system is. A design system is like a rule book that helps keep everything about a brand's design consistent and easy to use. It includes guidelines for how things should look and work, like the colors, fonts, and even how the buttons or images are placed. This system makes sure that no matter where you see the brand on social media, in an ad, or in a store, it all feels connected and familiar. It also helps designers and developers work faster by giving them a clear set of instructions to follow. I'm going to talk briefly about typography, logo, and color, and then also I'll provide some resources that I like to study that I think other people would benefit from studying as well. So for typography, the typography plays a critical role in conveying the brand's tone. Luxury brands tend to use elegant serif fonts and sleek sans-serif fonts. If you're unfamiliar with the difference between serif and sans-serif, basically, serif fonts have embellishments on the edges of the letters, and sans-serif fonts do not. Serif styles, like Times New Roman, reflect an intellectual, academic, or informed personality, very neutral, traditional, classic style, while sans-serif styles like Calibri and Arial are much more modern and practical. Consistent use of typography across materials ensures uniformity and reinforces brand identity. Let's look at some popular luxury brands and their logos. Ralph Serif, Valentino Serif, Lacoste Sans Serif, Boss by Hugo Boss. This is a mix between serif and sans serif. So they use serif for the main Boss logo and then sans serif for the sub logo. Chanel Sans Serif, Prada Serif, Gucci Serif. Gucci is a little bit of a mix. This is a little blurry, but there are some serif embellishments here, but not on the eye. Celine sans serif, D&G sans serif, Marc Jacobs sans serif, Louis Vuitton sans serif, Calvin Klein sans serif, Dior serif, Versace sans serif, and so on. You get the point. Within the last few years, a lot of these luxury brands have actually been rebranding from over-the-top traditional serif to more understated modern sans serif fonts. Read an article called The Logo Wars, the Sans Serif Epidemic and the Paradox of Modern Luxury. The author implies that the shift in the logos intends to communicate a change in the brand's image from old world luxury to a fresher and simpler ethos. I'll link that article in the video description. Next, let's talk about a type scale. A type scale defines a hierarchy of text styles, which includes sizes, weights, and line spacing across different content areas and platforms. So this is a major second type scale, or a 1.125x type scale. This is the type scale that I actually use for Pathos of Things. So I have headlines defined, body text defined by size, weight, and then I also have specific fonts. So for all the headlines, I use Helvetica, and then for all the body and utility text, I use Arial. Both of these are sans serif fonts, so I don't use any serif fonts at all for my brand. NASA released a graphic standards manual in the 1970s, which is basically just like a master rule book with the entire design system. I took a couple screenshots from that. I'll leave a link to the PDF in the description. I highly recommend checking that out as well. It's super inspiring. They have specific grid sizes for the logo, very specific type scales, very specific typography. They use Helvetica for almost all text, headlines, and body text here. But for specific situations like newsletters, they'll use serif fonts like Times New Roman here. So they might use Helvetica for the headline and the Times New Roman for the body text. They also have a page containing reproduction art. If any company were to use the NASA logo it would need to be exactly like this. This artwork should be used at the same size shown. Reductions and enlargements will alter the character of the typography. Brands do this all the time. Artists signed to labels also do this. Creative directors for artists in the music industry will send out reproduction art guidelines. So that way, let's say a club books a rapper and then they use the rapper's logo on one of their Instagram flyers or something. It needs to be consistent to protect the integrity of that artist. Moving on to color, I'm not going to spend too much time on color. I recommend watching people like Zoe Hong and her color tutorials on YouTube. But I just want to leave a little quick note about what kind of color palettes inspire me. So I really like color palettes like these, where there's shades of black and white and gray, and then there's some kind of like loud contrasting color. You can see that here as well. And then these are screenshots from two of my mood boards. This mood board related to this color palette, and then these are two screenshots from the same mood board related to this color palette. NASA has two specific swatches that they use for their color standards. They use these colors for literally everything. Nobody at NASA is allowed to design anything that doesn't use the colors within the color standards in the field manual. I actually made an entire video about this already, but I'll mention it here as well. I use Claude, which is an AI, to extract color palettes from editorial campaigns that inspire me. So for example, I saw this campaign and I wanted to get an exact color palette that was used for this. So I put this prompt into Claude. You can pause the video and type it into Claude for yourself, or watch my other video. I have a whole video about this. But basically, I'm able to extract color palettes used in professional editorial and then save them in Figma and use them later. Or I'll store these in a color palette library where I can view all of them at once, and that's really been helping develop my eye for color. For the last part of this video, I want to break down this whole concept in application, specifically by showcasing this brand Represent. Represent has a wordmark, logo, and an emblem. These are consistent on all their products. This emblem is built into the shoe in this specific example, which is really cool. And then anytime that wordmark is embroidered or embossed on any products, it's exactly like this. Exactly. As you can see, the emblem shows up in the profile pictures for all their social media. They use the same banner photos for all their social media. This is the Twitter, this is the Facebook. On the Instagram, all of the color palettes, the lighting, the art direction, everything is extremely consistent across their Instagram posts, across their Instagram reels. As you can see here, the typography and the logo is evident there. Typography and the logo is evident there. This is the same font as you will see on their website. Here are some emails from one of their automated email flows. The emblem, wordmark, color palette, and art direction are consistent. Here are some recent Facebook and Instagram ads. They're running vertical video ads that are extremely similar, if not the same content to what they post on socials. Both of the founders, George and Michael, have consistent aesthetics. As you can see, they have matching profile pictures, they have matching bios, they upload a lot of the same photos, and the color palettes are consistent. And all of these aspects from their personal pages are consistent with the brand pages as well. The website is consistent, features the same imagery, features the same font that's used everywhere else, like over here, and uses a very specific type scale for headers and body text. For the packaging, again, wordmark here, very consistent. Another screenshot of packaging on two different products. We have a clear poly mailer, and then we have the harder all black outside shell bag. So yeah, that was my very basic rundown of a design system with a few examples. If there's a topic that you'd like me to do a video on, please leave a comment. And if you learned something new, like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I'll see you in the next video.